outside, and it's always a beautiful day for some esports. My name is Nathan.
And I'm Aras, and it's time for some Terps Rocket League Premier action.
That's right, Aras, and what a night of Rocket League action it is. We're here for an exciting doubleheader of Rocket League, but not before a rundown of the game and an interview with our local guy, Hexy.
Yeah, I know we're all excited for a big-time matchup, but before we get into the action, let's go over the rules of your typical Rocket League match. If you've never played the game before, Rocket League is a fast-paced, high-octane version of soccer where cars flip, dive, and perform tricks in midair in order to evade the opposing team and put the ball in the goal.
Our two matches tonight will be a play versus series against Keiser University, and a little bit later we'll be facing off against Penn State for some CCS action.
Thus far, the Terps are 4-1 in the play versus Premier action and 8-1 in the CCS action. So tonight we'll be seeing them try to stay hot.
Yeah, absolutely. The Terps are coming in with a lot of momentum, and now we will keep it moving because it's time for us to introduce you to the 2026 Terps Rocket League Premier roster.
First up, we have the veteran Turtle. He's a senior, and he's about to be a dentist, starting dental school in the fall. He knows everything about Rocket League, ranging from mechanics to positioning. Plus, he loves to score goals from left to right.
Next up, we have Waiters, an information systems major. We can tell he gets into that cerebral bag. A straight dog on the field. He's always there to make the right play at the right time.
And last but not least, we have Hexy. He is a sociology major and a junior. There isn't much to be said about his solo goals that hasn't been said already. Be on the watch for him when he's in the air.
And here to answer a few questions, we have the man himself, Hexy, coming in. Hey, Hexy, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, bro?
I'm chilling, man. It's a great day today. How you been enjoying this weather?
I'm enjoying the weather. I think it's been very cold, very cold the past day. So
this warmth is a nice change of scenery, huh?
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about the season thus far, top to bottom? Any kind of league, any kind of competition?
I'm feeling good about most of the leagues. Today's going to be hard against Penn State. Then next week for we're versing Akron. That's also a hard team. But besides those two teams, I think we should be pretty good for the rest of the season.
I respect that. I respect the looking forward, man. Not many teams do that, and I like that we have some guys here that like to look forward. What is your favorite warm-up to do before the game to get ready for some of these games?
I like to just chill and free play, maybe do some training packs. I see that some of my mechanics are lacking in. And
I mean,
if I went to maybe a replay review, but that's about it.
I like that, man. And just to cap it off, you have any spring break plans, Hexy?
Going to Myrtle Beach with my team, Turtle and Waiters, for our land, obviously.
Of course.
Besides that, after the land, I'm just go home and spend time with my family.
Well, we love to hear that. Just relaxing, having a good time. Well, that will conclude our pre-show for this Rocket League match. Thank you so much for the interview, Hexy, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
William Mayer, Jr., University of Maryland.
Nick DeGiulio, Senior, University of Maryland.
Wade Zinkhand, Sophomore, University of Maryland.
Lachlan McVie, Freshman, University of Maryland.
If you could eat any food for the rest of your life, what are you eating?
Briskets. I don't know, they just good.
How does it feel being such a veteran on the CRL team?
You know, it's bittersweet, you know. It's like my last year. Sad to end it soon enough, but it's been fun. It's been great.
Who would you elect the president of the internet?
The internet? That's a difficult one. Probably Hexy.
Would you survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
What rank are you?
I'm SSL.
Where's one place you've always dreamed of going?
The Maldives.
You have to choose one, eyelashes or eyebrows?
Probably eyelashes. They protect your eyes.
What's a movie you could watch every day?
Good Will Hunting.
What's your favorite Rocket League map?
It's got to be Manfield Dusk.
What's the best gift you've ever received?
Got to be my computer setup that I got when I was like 13 or 14 from my parents. You know, it's got me to where I've been.
Hi, my name is Teddy Zielkowski. I am a 2022 graduate at the University of Maryland with a degree of Bachelor's of Landscape Architecture, and right now I am a Terps Rocket League coach. Yeah, I think one of the biggest factors of why they invited me to be the coach for the Rocket League team was that I played a lot, and I was actually like the Rocket League president of the club. I played for the collegiate team before Terps Esports was a program. So I was a huge person in this community for Rocket League, so they really wanted someone who was kind of like a cornerstone that built this community to come back and be the coach. The most important thing about my role would be just getting to know all the different players on the team. Everyone has different lifestyles, they have different play styles, so you really gotta just get to know every single person so that you can help kind of connect them all together so they can play well on and off the pitch. My favorite part would just be seeing their improvements throughout the entire season. I mean, you start out and everyone's a bit awkward, everyone's kind of shy as well, and I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray, so it's really fun just seeing, and they're also just getting better at the game too, so we're excited just to see them play better as well. I like the program, I like the direction it's going. There's obviously so much more work to do and figuring everything out, but I really like the direction we're going, and I think just the more time that we're working to grow the program, the more we're going to learn how to just be better as a program. I think one of the things that I really want to keep improving upon for like Terps Esports is just building a bigger community for all the games. So the Rocket League community has a really big community over in the club side. So it was really nice to see more people just like bonding together. People are just, instead of just seeing as like practices as being like a forced mandatory thing, people are like reaching out to each other and like they really want to play proactively with each other, and they're becoming friends as well. So it's not even like a team and we're just teammates and that's it, but it's more like we're staying up till like 2, 3 a.m. playing because we're having fun playing, and that's also helping them get better as well. So it like increases their like chemistry together and like just playing together as well, and they can handle losses better when they're a team and they're friends. So that's like a really good part about just building this community. I think one of the biggest things is just creating like a welcoming space for like beginners, and just like having it just be really welcoming, all skill levels included. That's something that we can try and do, and just create more diversity in the esports scene, just have more opportunities for other people to come, and maybe they're prodigies at a certain game or something. So when more people are playing the game and just creating more noise, then it's awesome for more people to just keep coming. It's almost like a trend.
Hello, how are we doing today? How you doing, Aras?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, it's been a long day, but in this long day, this weather's been the best weather we've had all year. Honestly, I think this entire time I've been at University of Maryland this semester, even counting maybe last semester. But yeah, great weather. I love this weather.
It's been stellar stuff, bro. I love the warmth. I can't do this cold, and it's going to get cold again next week in the coming days, but definitely excited to be seeing, just a little bit. We're getting a taste right now. Yeah,
no, I agree. And it's just, I mean, it's Maryland. If you guys have not been at Maryland before or lived in the state, the weather's always like this. It gets warm, gets cold. It's just used to it. But that being said, we are already into our game right here. We are playing Keiser University Sarasota. They are currently 2-3 in play versus, and so here we are just trying what we can do off right from the start.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. They are 2-3, but they're no one to be messed with because they do boast several supersonic legends on the squad. We know that they're talented guys. It's up to our guys in the studio to not take them too lightly.
Yes, that too. I mean, it is honestly a full circle moment where, yes, they've lost to Brock Esports, and we did too, but they beat UCF, who has beat Brock Esports, and we lost to Brock Esports not a while ago. So, again, it's just a full circle moment.
Just how sports go sometimes is this game has started off. It's been a little bit back and forth, not many opportunities going anyone's way. That is a good save coming out from Waiters, though, and a good shot on goal.
Yeah, beautiful save from Waiters right there. Great positioning, and we can see University of Maryland's trying to start something from this angle, but again, I mean, just Prism got demoed, and here's Changa trying to start what he can start something. Got the 50, fakes the flake, and that is a goal for Prism. Great demo, great read by Denzi. Prism saw the open net, and that is 1-0 Keiser.
You could see the set play starting from the beginning. Denzi was following. He was up in the front of the action. He wanted to get the demo very quickly, and get the demo they did. As Turtle makes a good point, he says the match length is a little bit off, which it is. Yeah, it is counting up instead of counting down, which is not the standard for Rocket League. Maybe they'll try and iron that out once it gets to 5 minutes. We're not sure, but we will play it by ear for sure.
Yeah, if they don't do anything, which of course we will, this game would go on forever. So, again, great point out from our own veteran Turtle himself. He's had enough time in this game, and he knows what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a goal coming out from Denzi, I believe, sorry. And it looks like they're a little bit too uncomfortable with the timing situation. I believe they'll restart with Keiser up a goal, maybe with a minute into the game, and they'll just try and iron out the kinks from there. But a little bit of technical difficulties, but, I mean, nothing that we can't handle ours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been there, done that for sure. But, I mean, again, that doesn't fully accurately represent how that game was supposed to go, because maybe that was messing around with University of Maryland's head. Maybe they were like, what's going on, and weren't able to focus. So, again, new game, fresh start, potentially with a 1-0 head start, depending on what they decide. But, again, I'm looking forward to this series.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. We have a lot of Rocket League tonight. 2 series very, very quickly. And, I mean, I'm just excited. We get to cap off this beautiful, beautiful day with some Rocket League, just some hanging around in the studio watching the guys play it out. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, perfect way to end off this beautiful day. Beautiful series, just leading off from a beautiful day. Again, just as you said, and I'm kind of saying what you said. But while we wait, I love Rocket League because it combines 2 things I love. Soccer, I am an avid Chelsea fan. I watch all of their games as often as I can. And fun fact, my favorite movie as a kid was Cars.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this before the broadcast started. What made Cars so entertaining to you? What was it?
I don't know. I think, honestly, if I'm trying to be honest, I guess it was just a natural inclination. Maybe my dad, he's also into cars. Maybe he was trying to shove that movie down and, just making sure I like it. But, again, nonetheless, I love cars. I love to be here. But I don't know. I just think the beauty of the first Cars movie is just, it's all perfect. It shows a beautiful story of perseverance and whatnot. Beautiful. It's just awesome. And then, the graphics ahead of their time. Great movie, great year to be born.
For sure, yeah. And that you're very right. Rocket League is known as car soccer by many. It's the easiest way to explain the game, right? The easiest way to explain what's going on, no matter if it's, some people might argue maybe it's a little bit more like hockey. Don't ask me. I'm not the one to be making the decisions on that. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. I got into Rocket League because I have a friend who was very into it, and it's honestly a very, very good game to watch, especially for us casters. There's so much going on, and there's always action, and it is very, very nice to be able to watch, especially at this high level.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, combining both things, I just had a natural interest for Rocket League. But yeah, speaking to Rocket League, I've had over 1,000 hours, and I think one thing I really like about it is your effort you put in really rewards you. Same like playing soccer, same like playing basketball. It feels really real, essentially, where I've spent countless hours training to get better. The ceiling is extremely high. I'm nowhere near the ceiling. I like that competitiveness of Rocket League. That's definitely what's drawn me towards this game.
Yeah, that's one of the things with Rocket League. I've heard that the skill ceiling is infinite, that sometimes with these games you can talk about a hypothetical max, you know what I mean, a hypothetical best that you could get at the game. But with Rocket League, there's so much perfection to be had, so much perfection to strive for, that there really is no perfection. The skill ceiling is literally indefinite. It's not even there. I can't see it.
I can't see it either. Yeah, no, speaking to that, yeah, I mean, I've been playing Rocket League. I started in 2018, had my off and on stages, just offline. I was actually not allowed to play online at that time. But 2020, when COVID came around, that's when I started playing online. And I can tell you, in the 11th year right now of Rocket League being out, the game has definitely evolved in the last 6 years, evolved throughout its entire time. And just to speak, there is no skill ceiling. I can't see it. You can't see it. No one can see it because it's not real. It's just not real.
It's one of those things. The game has been around for so long that people have had so much time to try and figure things out, to try and learn, and that is what makes the skill ceiling infinite. Is there are infinite ways to hit the ball, infinite ways to move the car. That, I mean, people still discover mechanics to this day. You said it's been 11 years since the game came out, and people are still finding new things daily. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, honestly, like I open up Instagram or social media, I'm like, what's this mechanic? I've never seen this before. And then again, I also like that these new high-level mechanics they like find or they discover, they try to implement it, and that's what keeps Rocket League, RLCS, Rocket League Champion Series, competitive, because you can't just like stay stagnant in your growth. You have to keep on evolving and improving, and that's just the beauty of every sport, that being Esports Rocket League.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you said that you like soccer as well, and that is the thing with these sports is that, I mean, there is just so much there's so much glory to be had sometimes, especially in some of these esports. There's a lot of flashiness to be had, but even in the real sports, there's just so much entertainment. It kind of brings everyone together, and right now we have a whole studio of wonderful, talented people all bringing this stream together, and it gives us something to gather over, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's such an important part and program at University of Maryland that, I mean, if you guys are not aware or not, esports will have their own facility starting next fall. So I'm looking forward to casting our new studio over there. I think it's going to be great. It'll keep on showing that esports is continuing to grow. I mean, Giving Day was huge. Those donations will help. But again, esports is continuing to grow, not just in University of Maryland, not even just nationally, but globally. And that's just a beauty to see.
Yeah, and that, as I was saying, like, kind of going back to that point, like you just said, it kind of brings these people together. It's growing, and it's just this all-encompassing thing where with a lot of sports, sometimes a lot of people can't get into them because of the physical aspect to it, but esports is a lot about the mental. I mean, there's, the mechanical skill, of course, but there's a lot of mental that goes into esports, and I think that's the beautiful thing is that is the kind of crux of things. If you can think well, if you can think on your feet, then you can, even if you don't compete at the high level, you can still keep up, pay attention, and stay locked in, stay keyed into what's going on. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, exactly. And also, if you're trying to rank up and improve, I personally feel, not just for Rocket League, but I mean, I watch basketball too. I play basketball on the side, just some pickup. I'm trying to get into golf. F1, I don't race my car like they do. But what I'm trying to say is if you watch these sports, continue watching these sports, and you start analyzing just a bit, I feel like it definitely, you can tell personally that I am improving. And that's why I love to be here for Rocket League. That's why I love to watch golf, basketball, because it also improves you as a person. So if you are right now a young kid or something and you're like, I want to do esports, feel free to tune in. It definitely will help, even if you don't even notice it.
Yeah, for sure. Even sometimes just spectating, just watching what's going on can help. As we're about to get into the game, we have a little bit of a pause going on. We apologize for the interruption and for the technical difficulties. We'll be in very soon, but it looks like they're ironing out the kinks of that last game to get set up for this one.
Yeah, so starting off this game, they will count the first goal, and this game will be 4 minutes as compared to 5, which is the normal. And so Keiser, given a 1-goal head start, University of Maryland really need to score if we want to win this because, again, 1-0 is not something you want to be down. But again, University of Maryland also loves to be down. Loves meaning they play at their best when they are down. And let's see if that will take an effect, if that will change the way we play.
Yeah, these guys definitely thrive off of the pressure. Obviously, you never want to be losing, but we see it time and time again. The Terps do not get deterred from being down goals, from being down a score in any esport even. They like the pressure. They like that fear factor, and they play very well with it.
Yes, definitely has right there. Waiters does a great job to stop Denzi's shot on goal. And right here, let's see if Hexy's able to do something. Tried to play it over Denzi, was unable to. Waiters gets a nice hit. Now Prism's on the sidewall with 44 boost. What will he be able to do? Gets a nice 50. The 50 goes our way, and Turtle tries to play it off the wall. Pops it up, passes it into the center. Waiters, Hexy, a bit of confusion over there. And then there's Waiters trying to pass it, but Turtle's rotating around to get some boost.
Yeah, there's a lot going on already. A lot to be said, a lot to be talked about. But let's talk about maybe the BEC, the LAN tournament that the Terps just went to. They boasted a very strong second place, but it seems like sometimes maybe they're not that satisfied. Obviously, you want the gold, and I think the guys in there wanted the gold more than anything.
Yeah, they definitely did want the gold, but again, from coming as a University of Maryland, fan, I am really happy we got second place. It is still very meaningful, and we have a lot of time. Some of these players still have time. Yes, Turtle, it is his final season, but again, with Waiters and Cozy and Hexy, who potentially will return, we still have bright future ahead of us.
No matter what, we are always proud of our guys, and proud we are of the way that they played in the in-person tournament in Chicago as well. And just to go back to the Giving Day stuff, the donations that we receive from Giving Day go directly to things like that, to travel, to get out to tournaments like that. So the more that we were able to receive, and we received a lot, and we are very appreciative of it, I mean, that is what it sponsors, these in-person events, these opportunities for the guys to go out and compete at their best against the best, and that's beautiful stuff, ours.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of beautiful stuff, Hexy tries to cross it in, is unable to do so, but there's Waiters trying to create what he can from right there, and then there's Prism trying to do what he can do. There's Hexy, just gets a 50 unlucky in our direction. Now Hexy needs to position himself for a save, but Changa fakes it. Hexy hits it up into the air. Prism hits it into the wall, and then now it's just a lot of going on, but University of Maryland's doing good to apply pressure right here.
Yeah, that was a stellar backward save. Going back, it looks easy because these guys make it look easy, but going backwards, going away from the ball and making that save is no easy feat, as there is some pressure being applied to Keiser's side. It looks like UMD are going to be trying to keep this up with only 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, Hexy really wants to score something from this angle right here with a minute left. And will he? Yes, he will. Beautiful stuff from Hexy. Plays it over one. Positions himself perfectly to play the 50. Look at that beautiful touch right there. Denzi's unable to do anything. Prism, with the way he is, has to hit into Hexy. And Hexy, great read. 1-1. Great stuff.
It looked like an awkward touch to get it off of the wall, but Hexy uses the flip there to catch up, make sure that he's in the proper position, and he had, I think, a full tank of gas in there, a full boost. But that is another goal coming out from Turtle. That is very quick. 2 unanswered goals for Maryland. Suddenly, we're in the lead with only 48 seconds to go.
Yeah, that is huge right there. Waiters is like, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to do what I can do. Gets a beautiful assist. Turtle, again, with his positioning, his beautiful game sense. That is 2-1. Now let's hope Maryland can continue and keep this lead.
One of the things that we see a lot, that I saw a lot in these past few weeks, was Maryland gets really beat on these kickoffs. You can definitely tell, you will definitely be able to bet that is something they'll be focusing on to not lose the game off of, because they did, in all honesty, lose a couple of games straight off of kickoff goals. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah, as like someone who's and again, there's Turtle. Beautiful positioning, once again, stellar positioning, gets a great touch, and that is 3-1. It seems like this game is coming out of Keiser's hands, but again, this is Rocket League. Anything can happen, especially in the span of 24 seconds. But yes, adding back on to that, yes, University of Maryland has lost a lot of games on their kickoff. I know they like to try and play around with some things, but sometimes you just want to go the basic and traditional way just to play it safe. But again, University of Maryland knows what they're doing. They're all SSLs. Sometimes it's just best to watch and not say anything.
For sure. It is tough to analyze sometimes because we know these guys are communicating very well with each other. They have very talented coaches. They're very talented players in general. But right now, the game is coming to an end, and it looks like, yes, it will be a win going to the Maryland Terrapins in Game 1 of Series 1 against Keiser Sarasota. That is a great game to start it off.
Great game, great game. It seemed like at first, I mean, if you really look at that game, like the 4 minutes that we played, yes, Keiser had some opportunities, but again, they technically did not score because that first game, which I honestly may even attribute to a bit of psychological warfare, essentially. But again, nonetheless, beautiful 4 minute showing and a 2-goal game from University of Maryland. That's great to see. Let's hope they can continue on with that momentum.
I mean, it's a good start, especially being down the goal. As you were saying, being down that goal isn't always the easiest thing to stare at. But, I mean, we were talking about it already. Maryland, we know Terps love the adversity. They love the challenge. And the challenge was what they met with, I mean, open arms. They were ready for it. And obviously, a very, very, very easy, clean win coming out for game one.
Yeah, and let's see what happens in game two as Turtle gets a good start to play it over Prism. But there's Prism to rotate around, out of boost. There, Changa tries to play it in the wall, passes him to himself, trying to create something from the little boost he has. But there's Denzi. He gets another touch. But there's Hexy. Our defensive anchor does a great job to save that right there.
Great stuff. We know Hexy. I always talk about this guy's mechanics, and right now we were seeing some right there. He tried to do it all on his own, and he almost got it all on his own, but close but no dice.
Yeah, and Turtle right here trying to get the flip reset, unable to do much from that angle. There's Denzi, gets a lucky touch from our own player, and now they're rotating. Prism has 0 boost. The best he can do is either go for a 50, as he does, but Waiters overpowers him, tries to cross in the middle. Will we be able to score? Not yet. But again, great stuff from Maryland as they try to apply pressure to get the first goal in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Prism is coming in here with that. It was a good look for him, but better defense coming out from Maryland. That is a big demo coming out. Hexy looks like he wants to take it up the wall while his teammate is down. There is another demo coming out. There's a lot of pressure being applied by Keiser. Will they be able to capitalize off of it right here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like they really have some sort of agenda against Waiters, where he was the guy that was demoed twice. But again, with this game going on, we will see if Waiters will be demoed once again.
That is a good save coming out from Hexy, I believe it was, and he's able to start to clear it. Turtle is up the field. That is a great pass, a little bit of a through ball that you call it in soccer. Close but no dice. That was a great looking play, though.
Yeah, and again, what did I say? Waiters once again demoed, but again, Turtles also demoed too. So one thing that I've definitely noticed from this Keiser side is they love their demos. And for you guys who may not know much about Rocket League, once you're demoed, you have 3 seconds to respawn, and so that kind of gives you an advantage where you can take advantage of the 2v3 and score. But Keiser unable to do much with their demos.
Especially with those 2 demos at once, it looked a little bit scary, but I believe that the ball was already in Keiser's side, so there wasn't really much to do with it. I mean, in that 3 seconds, there just wasn't enough time to try and make an opportunity off of it, and ultimately Maryland didn't pay any type of price.
Yeah, and we are definitely lucky because demos are usually one of the reasons why we do give up some goals. Not usually, but tend to be.
Yeah, for sure. As the ball is coming up the field right now, it looks like Changa, I believe his name is, pardon me, will be trying to make something happen on his own. Does not get anything, but that is a stellar attempt coming out from Prism, but the defense is right there to meet him.
Yeah, spectacular stuff from Waiters as he tries to clear it. There's Changa once again. Hexy does a good job, but again, Hexy demoed once again. This is like a demo derby.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe a little bit of his own fault right there. Hexy had to make some kind of play on the ball because so much was happening. He did not want that opportunity to make it past the half line, as that's a little bit of a shot on goal from Hexy. Didn't have enough power on it, but that's what you like to see. You like to see them peppering the goal with shots. Even if they're not going to go in, you have to make Keiser try. You know what I mean?
And again, once again, the Hexy is demoed. They really love their demos, but right here we can see that University of Maryland are playing a decent job, doing a decent job on defense as Prism tries to score, and yes, he does. That's a beautiful attempt from him. Great pass from Changa as he lobs it up right there. It just passes it into Prism. Great read from Prism, and that is 1-0. University of Maryland down once again 1-0, but again, last time we saw University of Maryland were able to score 2 unanswered goals, so let's see if that happens again.
I mean, that was a great goal coming out from Keiser. You saw the instant redirect, as that is a shot on goal off of the kickoff. What was I saying, As that is rough stuff, a goal off of the kickoff. It is already 2-0, but I mean, back to that first goal, the perfect redirect. What do you do against that when they're in the right position? It was great teamwork. It was a great team play all around. You have to tip your cap sometimes.
Yeah, that was great placement and from Keiser right there, as Hexy was kind of like, you could tell from his movements as he was like, he definitely had the ability to stop that and get a save, but I think he was a bit confused, like, will that go in or not? But ultimately it did go in.
Yeah, the redirect may have caught him off guard. He was on the back post, ready for the defense, ready for the shot, the save rather, and he was just a little bit too slow. But we are already an entire goal past that. As Turtle looks like he's going to be trying to do something, get a little something going for the Maryland side. He gets it into Keiser's half, but it does not look like much will come out of it.
Yeah, and there's Turtle once again persevering, trying to create something from the sidewall, misses the ball. There's Wader trying to lob it up. There's Denzi, he gets beat. Denzi fakes off the flip, fakes out both people, and now will they take advantage of the 3v2? I guess not, as now it is a 3v3. Everyone is rotated back into position as Hexy gets the ball, fakes it, plays it underneath, almost gets the shot off. Beautiful stuff from Hexy, but there's Prism to save that shot.
My jaw literally dropped at that Ares when I finally realized what he was doing on that fake. That was crazy stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen a fake like that before. It definitely worked, and honestly, off of the back of that, Maryland got to apply a lot of pressure, but it does not look like it'll be enough, as that is a shot almost on goal. No goal yet, but time is dwindling. It's getting scary.
Yeah, and Hexy trying to, just nearly score from right there. But there's Wader trying to play it into our corner. There's Turtle trying to pass it down as that Denzi. Denzi is really applying pressure, gets the demo on Turtle, and yeah, there's Hexy trying to cross it in. Does he get that? No, I don't think Wader's get the touch he wants, and now with nearly 5 seconds left, it seems like the game is over.
Looks like Game 2 will be a wrap on the back of these 2 goals coming out from Keiser. A little bit more adversity in the series. It is now 1-1. It gets a little bit uncomfortable, but right now it's basically a new series, just best of 3, right?
Yeah, best of 3. I mean, great way to look at it. I think if you're Maryland right there, you definitely want to avoid demos, as I wasn't counting, but I would estimate around 10 plus demos in that game, which is a lot. I mean, that must be one of the most demos I've seen in any game I've streamed. And so yes, Keiser again, also going back into the first game, their first goal, they did score off a demo play, so that should be something that Maryland definitely is mindful about. But it's more of such, now that you're mindful, what do you actually do to counter that?
I mean, you just have to be on the lookout. We know that demoing is in the quote-unquote meta, as people would like to say. Demoing is a very, very vital, a very volatile, powerful tool that any team can use. But, I mean, you just have to be aware. You have to be always looking around for where all 3 people are. And, I mean, these guys are pros. They know what they're doing. They're able to jump. They're able to move properly. But, I mean, just making sure that you're paying the attention is step 1, and that is almost the hardest part sometimes.
Yeah, step 1 is definitely paying attention, and step 2 is also simultaneously, where do I move? Do I move left? Do I move right? But you also have to keep in mind that you can mess up your rotation or your positioning, because a lot of times when you were trying to demo, and you may avoid the demo, but you concede, as sometimes they send out their players just to mess around with you. So that is, again, something they have to be careful of.
I mean, scary stuff, but we know, as I said earlier, we have some talented coaches here. We have some talented players. They will not go down without a fight, and they will not go down without making their adjustments, which is the important part to make sure that we are aware of as we are getting into Game 3 with the series tied at 1-1.
Yeah, right here, Prism gets the nice touch, tries to play it off the corner. He does so. Just trying to demo right there, just get the bump. Again, another thing that Maryland is already mindful of, as there's Hexy demoed, there's Waiters demoed, Turtle bumps someone. A lot going on so far, but ultimately Keiser's doing a good job applying pressure.
I mean, that is a stellar save coming out from Turtle. Oh my God, did you see that? That was a great shot, but better defense coming out from Turtle, and this game has started very quickly. We are only 30 seconds in, and we already have some action going.
Yeah, Keiser also bumping their own players. Again, this is a lot going on from both sides, but ultimately University of Maryland really want to get a nice possession to kind of sway the momentum.
Right now, the Terps are a little bit low on boost because Keiser has been starving them of boost. That is what they call it in the industry. They call it starving. Sometimes I've heard it called quenching. Keiser is using all of Maryland's side's boost, but right now it looks like Maryland is fairly stocked up as Keiser tries to make a push, but will they have enough in the tank?
I don't know, but Waiters is saying, hey, you demoed me last time. I'm going to demo 2 of your players. And so right here, now out of rotation, Turtle's not able to do much, again, but that's good stuff from Maryland, as demos might be the meta for this series.
For sure, and I mean, that maybe was the solution. Instead of that extra awareness, that extra keen eye all the players have to have, maybe they just turn on their own jets. They go for their own demos, Aras, and right now it looks like it's been working, as this game has looked a little bit Maryland-sided to start off.
Yeah, honestly, you're definitely right when you say that. I am curious to see if Maryland will continue their demos, but again, as Waiters demoed right there, just Denzi trying to get his payback. But again, even if you don't see the demo on the top right or hear it with the big kaboom, there are also a lot of bumps going on, and so this is going to be a very physical game for both sides.
For sure. It is a little bit scary when it gets physical like this. I mean, obviously, we are playing the game, and it is not in person, but even in the game, this pressure, this extra added aggressiveness comes out in the gameplay, not just in the way that, things are happening. You can see the guys are moving faster. They're trying to get to the ball faster, and it adds an extra layer to the game sometimes.
Yeah, and Turtle just going for the redirect. Will that go in? It was on target. Beautiful shot from him, but there's Denzi to save that and get a good touch to start the attack. And there's Prism, plays it up. There's Hexy, trying to play into the corner, gets the pinch, goes straight to Changa. Changa hits it down to the ground, and now it's an awkward angle from Maryland.
Yeah, awkward stuff right there. A little bit of a miscommunication on the wall. Hexy was struggling a little bit to get to it because he did not have the boost, and it looked like someone was already on the wall there to save it. All works out in the end, but maybe something you want to iron out before the end of the game, as that is a great shot from Turtle. That is a great goal from Turtle. Wow, 1-0 already. Out of nowhere, Ars. That was crazy.
Yeah, honestly, looking back at that play, Turtle sees the read. He recognizes that Keiser's overcommitted, and then with Waiters right there, a bit of confusion where, who's going to go for it, and the defender being in a 2v1 position. Turtle has the beautiful play shot, and that is 1-0 Maryland.
In a spot like that, offense will beat defense if both are perfect because the extra number is there. We've seen saves in those situations before, don't get me wrong, but any time in any situation where there is an outnumber, better offense will beat defense no matter what.
Yes, and that also applies to not just Rocket League, but all sports in soccer. They try to take advantage of 3v1s, the one person sometimes being the keeper, even on a fast break in basketball. But yes, going back into Rocket League, that is a great way to score, and I hope Maryland do well to read over commitments from Keiser and continue to score goals from that perspective.
This game has been a pretty intense one, a lot of back and forth, a lot less demos, maybe a little bit of mutually assured destruction going on. One team does not want to go for the demos, as that is an attempt on a pitch from Turtle, does not go on net, but a good way to clear it in. But there's only a minute left. They have to keep this pressure up if they want to get out of this with a clean win.
Yeah, and Hexy right there with 0 boost just lobs it in the air. Best thing he could do. There's Denzi just waiting for it, but Turtle intercepts that pass. There's Prism lobbing it up. Hexy beats Denzi, and now it's in our corner, but again, a lot of stuff going on. Maryland just need to stay composed and not let any shots concede any shots.
It looked right there like Prism was going for a little bit of a cheeky shot, maybe a little bit of a double tap off of the backboard. Close but no dice. Great defense coming out from Terps on the backboard, and right now it looks like Maryland are not done with the scoring. They're going to be trying to go for more to make this lead a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and Prism lobs it up to himself, passes it actually to Denzi. Denzi tries to get the double touch, but unable to do so as Hexy stops it in the middle. And now here's Changa, gets a good touch. Turtle beats him to it. There's Prism. Again, whenever Maryland clears it, it just seems like one Keiser player is back there just to receive it. And now will we score off there? No, but a beautiful pass from Turtle. Waiter's not able to do much as the defender's right there. And right here, it's just a lot going on. Maryland just got to stay composed, can't concede any last-second goals as Turtle stops it right there, intercepts it, and it looks like that may be game.
They just want to let this one down and let it down. They do. That is a great game coming out of the Terps, a great bounce-back game. Not many goals, but a lot of action to be talked about in that one, Ars. What did you see?
What did I see? I saw a little bit of difference from Maryland. They definitely implemented demos more. They also got demoed less. And so, with the fast, high-octane version of this game of Rocket League, it was kind of hard to realize and recognize if Maryland were intentionally missing demos or Keiser did stop. But I think overall, Maryland, I did see were trying to avoid the cars and that were chasing after them. So I think that was a big thing, not getting demoed. Also on defense, it seemed like we were stronger. We kept a clean sheet, and I think that's just what you want to keep on building on as you go into potentially the final game.
You have some great positioning there in that game, some great saves, and some great passes in that front half. Not many goals to speak of, only the one, but some good offense coming out there. I think if you're Maryland, you're very satisfied with that performance, as that was not just a defensive masterclass. It's just a little bit unlucky on the offensive side, but that could have been a 4-0 route if a couple other things went another way, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And honestly, as I've seen Maryland time and time again, Maryland really love their team plays. They love passing, and I think those are the most rewarding, especially when you get all three players involved. Beautiful pass. It just shows how well Maryland's team chemistry is as of right now.
Yeah, right now they're trying to get it out of their half. and it looks like Turtle's up in the air for the shot. It looks like he's going for a fake, does not put the actual shot on target, just lets it bounce in, and the defender Prism was just too scared. I mean, he did not know what was coming at the goal, and it ends up in a goal for Terps. What a great play.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or not. Of course, if it's Turtle, I'm assuming it's intentional. But again, that missed, not a whiff, but that fake. Again, as Prism scores right there, as I'm trying to get my words out, Prism scores right there. He sees that there's a nice opening in the bottom right and just places it right there in the bottom right. As Denzi also messes with Hexy right there, trying to go for the demo. Again, Keiser loves that. But yeah, going back to that previous goal, again, just a beautiful stuff from Turtle.
And I mean, we are only 24 seconds in, not even a half of a minute in, and we already have more goals than the last game. That just shows you how much action, how much things can change in Rocket League, how much the momentum can switch as Turtle goes for a little bit of an ambitious play on the backboard. Nothing to get out of it, but a good look nonetheless.
And right there, Hexy does a great job to step inside, intercept that ball from going in. As Prism plays it, both players are up. Let's hope Keiser don't take advantage of that overcommitment. As Denzi passes it back, hits it to the wall. There's Shanga. Now there's Denzi. Another double commit from Maryland. Maryland definitely needs to communicate a bit more and only send one person out to commit.
This game is looking scary and getting scary. It is right there as Keiser. That is a great solo performance from Denzi to get this goal almost all on his lonesome with the flip reset, with the stellar air mechanics. I mean, what do you do against that? That is a tough shot to save, ours.
Yeah, in any rank, in any of the games I've played, anytime I see someone get a flip reset, I'm like, oh, GG's, I'm not scoring anything. But just in general, though, that's just for Champ 1, Champ 2. Even in the highest leagues, even in RLCS, Turtle scores right there. Wow. Beautiful, as you see the Dueling Dragons celebrating right there. Hexy crosses into the middle. Waiters passes it, and there's Turtle right there. But again, flip resets are one of the most, if not the most difficult mechanic to stop and save.
I mean, that was a stellar goal. We always talk about the team play. We've talked about it already enough this broadcast, and we'll talk about it some more because that was a great 3 sequence of passes from the Maryland Terrapins to put that one away. I mean, what else is there to say other than that's just great teamwork coming out right there?
Great teamwork from both sides. Even great defense, but even greater offense. As I mean, both sides are playing great defense, but the offense is just too much to contain on both sides, as it is 2-2. But if you're Maryland right now, you just want to step it up a bit on defense, as difficult as it is, and just keep on playing your offensive game as you are right now.
For sure. I mean, I don't know about you, but every time I see Hexy in the air with the ball, I just think it's going in, ours. He is so talented with the ball in the air, and so are the other guys as well, not to only solo one out. But right there, that is a great save coming out from the aforementioned Hexy. But, I mean, these guys are so talented. They've been practicing these mechanics for hours and hours and thousands of hours even. And, I mean, you can tell they're so comfortable on and off the ball.
Yeah, this is what thousands, and we mean thousands. We don't mean 1,000, 2,000, but even more. That's what thousands of hours in Rocket League gives you. The comfortability, comfort at any angle. There is no zone that's called essentially like out of your comfort zone, as you've played every position, every angle before, and it just helps immensely with this game.
And it's just the experience gap sometimes is having those hours, and especially it goes a little bit unsaid, but the hours that you play with the teammates that you end up playing with. Obviously, we have some stellar, very, very talented players here at Maryland, but they've played with each other for so long, so many scrims, so many tournament games, so many stream games as we're seeing. They just know where each other are going to be at all times, basically. Eyes in the back of their head, I'd like to say.
Yeah, honestly, it really is like the sixth sense, essentially, that you're able to develop when you play so much with your teammates. And right there's Turtle lobbing it up, plays it over one. What's he able to do? Tries to cross it. There's Denzi. Waiters is there. Passes into the corner. Turtle hits it in the back. Not able to do much, but that pass was a bit too heavy for Keiser, as no one's able to receive. And now Waiters wants to take his time, as he may score from this angle.
A little bit of an attempt on a flip reset there. Maybe a fake, getting Hexy into the mix. Nothing coming out of it, but I mean, Again, we don't know the guy's intentions, but that might have been a fake. Maybe trying to get a little bit fancy on Keiser to get a goal going, but that is a great pounce on the opportunity coming out from Prism from Keiser, Sarasota, and right now it's looking a little bit rough with less than a minute and a half to go, and Maryland are down now.
Yeah, Hexie was a bit overcommitted. He should have stayed his rotation, left Turtle in an awkward position, and Prism gets the nice little 50. It goes his way, and it's 3-2, 2-3 for Maryland right now. And there, once again, we concede off kickoffs as Prism's able to score right there. Let's analyze what happened right here. Denzi gets a good kickoff. Oh, Turtle, I guess, faked it. They were trying to go for a little Spanish kickoff, which is the word for that, and it just backfired. And that is a high-risk, high-reward play when it works, but in that instance, we saw the risk that it brings.
And that's the thing with these kickoff routines. You see always someone going to the back to get the boost, instantly getting the 100 boost. And, yeah, when a kickoff goes bad like that, it gets worse because there will be nobody there in the net ready to save the ball. And that's what we saw right there, 4-2 to Keiser.
Yeah, 4-2, but now with almost just a minute left, Maryland really need 2 goals or this will go into best of 5, which will be a go home, win or go home, as that will be the final game of the series. And right here, there's Hexie playing it into the side wall. Chonga, again, just bumping. This is a good game from Keiser so far. And University of Maryland, yes, they had a great start to it, but it seems like Keiser has had the upper edge in the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's rough. If you're Maryland, you have to get something going right now. There's not enough time on the clock. It is dwindling very fast, but Keiser has been very good. But, I mean, Hexie better right there. What a goal coming out from Hexie in the air, not losing composure at all. I always say this guy's dangerous in the air. Look at the redirect onto goal. Stellar shot from Hexie, and now we are only within 1. I said they needed something, and they got something.
Yes, and what's so impressive about that goal is Chonga was going for the bump. In fact, he did bump Hexie, but Hexie was able to, with his hours, read the position he was in and able to score, get a nice little redirect. But now Maryland really trying to score in the last 15 seconds right here, and let's see if they're able to formulate anything from here.
The important thing with that goal is now they're able to score in the extra time. If the ball stays up after 0 seconds happens, they're able to try to keep it up and put it on goal. And that is a good shot on goal. Better save. Turtle wants to keep this up. This game is not over yet. They want to keep it up. They want to go for a goal. Good save, though, and game 4 goes to Keiser. We're going to game 5, ours.
Yes, we are going to game 5. But right there, I was on the edge of my seat when I saw Turtle got that flip. He was trying to create something from a very slim angle, but ultimately unable to do so. But yes, going into game 5, I think Maryland need to be a bit more cautious of their bumps, maybe try to implement more as they did in game 3. But great stuff from Keiser.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to not let the pressure get to you, and we know the Terps are not very susceptible to pressure. They like these pressure scenarios, as we were saying. But, yeah, honestly, if I had to take away anything, it is that they need to dictate their own tempo. They need to calm down a little bit and not let Keiser play their own game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely know what you mean. Keiser seemed like they were definitely in the steering wheel, controlling the steering wheel in the driver's seat in that game right there. And Maryland really just kind of want to push them out of the driver's seat, kind of open the car door, push them out the driver's seat, and take the wheel for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very tough sometimes to dictate your own tempo and to play your own brand, but that is what you have to do to be successful in long-term scenarios like this. You have to be able to dictate your own kind of will, your own tempo, your own style of play onto the enemy. And right now in this game 5, I mean, they've played already 4 games. We're getting into it right now. That is what we have to see out of Maryland if they want to win the set.
Yeah, but overall, looking at the series as a whole, all games have been extremely close, except for the one where I believe we won 1 or 2-0, and that seemed like we could have scored a bit more goals in that game. But overall, all other 3 games, extremely close. I mean, this Game 5 exemplifies the series as a whole. It's tight, just end to end, so close. I mean, I'm curious to see who will come up on top, but again, fair play to both sides so far.
Very, very back and forth. You're very right, Ars, as we get into this Game 5 scenario. They say it's the best type of game, these elimination win or go home games, and you can tell the guys will not be playing around. Rather, they will be trying to get some stuff going for themselves.
Yeah, and here's Waiters trying to create something, gets the demo on Denzi, and now here's Turtle, stops that, intercepts, and now what will we see from here? Nearly goes in, weird angle, but now just end-to-end stuff right here as Hexy goes for the shot, tries to go for the 50, lobbed up, and now Turtle just goes for it, but ultimately is beat by a Keiser player.
I mean, I respect that attempt, and you saw at the very end of that shot attempt, Hexy who tried to put the back of his car on the ball. That is what you want to do if you're going for a 50 because it's more car. It is harder to get the ball through if there's more car that it has to go through, and that is a great save coming out from Denzi. So much to talk about, and it's only been a minute.
Yeah, right there you can see Turtle did a great job to play in the wall, gets a nice little cross into the middle, so close to going in, but great save from Keiser as now they are on the offensive. Now what will they be able to do? Not much as Hexy is able to stop that by himself. Waiters passes it, lobs it up to Hexy. Hexy can't get the touch. He's beat to it. Now there's Turtle. Turtle trying to go for the double. Now there's Hexy once again. Will he lob it up? No, he goes for it for himself. Just goes in, but again, this is a lot of pressure from Maryland, but ultimately, as we've seen so far, Keiser can flip the switch immediately and go on the offensive.
Yeah, but that is what I was saying. Maryland is really playing their own style, their own tempo, and you like to see it. I mean, even this is the first time that I can remember the ball was in Maryland's side, other than that save earlier, and it is already out. I mean, great stuff coming out early, and Prism looks like he's going to, yeah, he looked for something there, did not get it, but that is a great setup going to Denzi. It is already 1-0 to Keiser in Game 5. The Terps have to do something very soon.
Yeah, Hexy really needed to hit the ball. He knows it. You can see he was trying to get just the perfect touch to lob it up, mess around with Keiser a bit, but ultimately failed to do so, and that's 1-0 for Keiser.
Rough stuff, but I mean, you have to take it in stride. Sometimes you can't let that get you down, and these guys will not be gotten down as they are trying to keep this pressure up. They do not want to go quietly into the night.
Yeah, and right there, big clear from Keiser. Waiters able to hit it above one, passes it into Turtle, lobs it up. What could have been Hexy is now demoed, and now Keiser just trying to take control from the ball right there as Denzi stops Waiters' little cross in the middle. There's Hexy flying through, and now there's Changa. There's Waiters. Just the game is played in the midfield right now. And is that going to go in? No, just nearly. Turtle gets the shot, just not enough power. Now there's Waiters trying to cross into the middle. Plays it into Hexy. It's too high. There's Hexy once again, just so close. Maryland's just knocking on the door, but no one is able to open the door. No one's able to close the door on the other side as Keiser's able to take advantage of the overcommitment as Denzi just gets a free shot on goal right there.
The problem with applying this much pressure is that they do not have anyone back. They have 3 people up trying to get that equalizer, trying to get everything evened up. But, I mean, nobody's back. All the resources are being depleted up front, and nobody's back. If a ball gets out, it gets out, and it's going in no matter what, and that is what we saw right there. Unfortunate stuff, but still a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of time left on the clock. Changa just plays it. Nice little volleyball set, essentially, into Hexy. But now there's Hexy in the air. Tries to get a flip. Passes into Turtle. Turtle, his attempt has failed as Denzi is there to stop it. Again, just so close as we're overcommitted, but Turtle does a good job to stop that ball right there.
It's rough stuff. All game you've been seeing the guys are just a little bit too under the ball. And in Rocket League, when you're under the ball will go up. It's just like in real soccer. If you lean back on your shot, it will go into the sky. And the guys have been leaning back a little bit on their shots. All of their shots have been hitting this backboard. They have to make this adjustment very quickly, or this will be a series loss.
Yeah, ultimately, sometimes in soccer and Rocket League, it's not about who gets the most amount of possession or whatnot, but it's ultimately who can make who's the most effective and clinical. And so far, Keiser has been much more clinical as they have 2 goals as opposed to 0. But you also have to credit their defense too. Maryland has also been coming up with some good attacks, but ultimately Keiser's defense has been winning them this game.
And that was a great attempt on a 50 from, I believe it was Waiters, but close, but no dice. There were too many Keiser cars back there for it, and right now is looking a little bit more dangerous as Hexy accidentally sets it up almost for a Keiser player. If someone was closer, that might have been in. Great awareness to still keep it out. I believe it was from Waiters. He gets demoed, but that might be a game saver if they're able to score here.
Yeah, and right there, just so close to scoring, but Prism does it, hits it away, crosses it towards the goal, and now it's just time running out. Maryland really needs a goal, and will Keiser score? Yes, they will. Denzi, great positioning. He has all 3 goals, I believe, in this game, and that may just be game over for Maryland, as scoring 3 goals in approximately 23 seconds, talking about 7.66 seconds each goal, extremely difficult pacing to keep up with.
I mean, that might be the dagger, as you were saying. That might be the one that caps this series off. When we were saying before the series, this team is 2-3, but they were nothing to scoff at, as they have they boast a very, very talented roster of supersonic legends. And sometimes record doesn't mean everything, as we're seeing right here. These are very talented players.
Yes, very, very talented. And I mean, now it is definitely over, as you cannot score 3 goals in 1 second. There's Turtle. He's not upset with the performance. But again, game officially, and there's Shanga to score the 4th. But stepping away from that game, it's hard, because Maryland's so close, trying to do as much as they can, or just putting on nice shots on target, but Keiser's defense wins them the game. But worry not, as we will be playing another series, this time in the CCS League, where we are 8-1, and our opponents, Penn State, the Nittany Lions, are also 8-1, and that's also going to be an exciting series to watch.
For sure. I believe Hexie was telling us before the game that Penn State boasts a very, very talented roster of professional players even. And, I mean, that's some crazy stuff. We have some professional players coming down to play in our collegiate league. I mean, good for them. I'm very, very excited to see this level of quality, and I know the Terps will have what it takes. But the question is, will they perform when it comes down to it? I believe they will, but, I mean, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Maryland, we are going straight into Penn State, which means that they're not able to talk too much about what went wrong, or prepare or change their mechanics differently, or prepare for different mechanics in this series, as we are about to start extremely shortly. No break needed. And right now, again, this is going to be a big series, because whoever loses both in conference, so they are 8-1 total, but in conference they're also both 6-1. So right now, same seed. Yes, Maryland are, I believe, 19-5 in all games, where Penn State is 19-10. So our games difference, we have 5 more games in hand than them, but this is just going to be big, because whoever loses this will be ranked lower or placed lower than the other side.
I mean, it's scary stuff sometimes, but, I mean, the season has been pretty long. The Terps have been doing very, very good, and we are right into it. Do not be mistaken. That is not Keiser. That is Penn State that we're getting into this game with, and we are right into the action, as that is already an attempt, but nothing comes out of it.
Yeah, I believe it was Nitro or Nitri, who whatever he's going by right now. He is the pro player, but there is also another pro player who was pro in, I believe, MENA or whatnot, and he is now in U.S. So 2 pro players on, Penn State. But again, we have one of our own pro players, Hexie, who does a great job saving that ball right there.
It looked like a little bit of a musty flick and enhanced mechanic coming out from the Penn State players, and you can already tell they have a lot of quality on this roster. They're moving the ball exactly how they want to. They have some very talented players coming in, but it does not look like Maryland is too phased by it, as they have been putting up a pretty good fight themselves.
Yeah, but again, now if you're Maryland right here, you want to flip the switch, flip the script, apply some pressure, as a lot of it has just been Penn State, Penn State, Penn State. As Killex does a good job to stop the Maryland attack right there, but now there's Waiters trying to cross it into the middle. There's Nitri staying behind it. Turtle beats him to it. Turtle kind of hits it to the back. Now it seems like Penn State wasn't ready for that, and now there's Nitro. What can he do from here?
Yeah, it's a little bit scary in these situations when you see some of this stuff happening. But, I mean, again, the game is still deadlocked. They are still very, very we're still working. That was a little bit of a technical difficulty on the player camera, I believe. But, I mean, yeah, it's still deadlocked. Minute and a half in. This has already been a pretty entertaining game. A lot of action going on. But, I mean, yeah, right now both teams are vying for position, vying for this first goal, as the first goal is always important in these competitions.
Yeah, the first goal will be a lot. It will also be a statement goal from either side, showing that, oh yeah, you can do this, but so we can score. Doesn't matter what you're able to do, as long as goals are scored, as goals are the deciding factor in all games. And right there, it's just so close from Penn State, as I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but nonetheless, very awkward and scary situation from Maryland. As right there, Turtles trying to cross it in the middle. There's Killex, beats him to it, and now Kexie's trying to take his time to stop and make a flip the script into Maryland's way, unable to do so. There's the pass into Hexy. Hexy gets beat by Fahad, and now just a lot of stuff going from both sides.
Yeah, a lot going indeed for both sides. I mean, there's so much happening. So it's very, very back and forth to start. A lot of pressure being applied by Penn State, but that is good positioning coming out from, I believe it was Hexy or Turtle, getting there to be there for the pinch instead of letting the ball go in, and it got cleared right there, but the ball is back in the Maryland half. What will they do with it right now? That is a good shot on goal. Better save from Turtle. A lot of action happening right now.
Yeah, Maryland really needs to get... Unfortunately, I was going to say they need to get ball, re-coordinate, and try to start an attack, but then ultimately, when you keep on knocking on the door, either someone will open the door and be like, what the heck, or the door will crack open, and it seems like the door cracked open right there.
Yeah, very, very rough, scary stuff coming out for the Terps. They're down 1-0, but they have been putting up, as I said before, a pretty good fight this game thus far, and that is what I was talking about on the kickoff goals. I mean, you saw right there, we could see a very good angle. Waiters went back for the boost, and I mean, you lose the kickoff in the middle. Hexy tries to turn around and go for it, but he is too slow. He will not have enough to get back, and just like that, Penn State's lead has doubled in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, blink of an eye. I mean, it's just unfortunate to see if you're Maryland right now. But again, Maryland's one of their biggest and key traits is their perseverance, not always putting up a fight. And right here, I mean, if you think it's game over, you're clearly not watching the right sport, as there's plenty of game time and series time to go forward.
I mean, that was a great attempt on goal by Penn State. I do not know what the player was, but he tried to redirect it with the back of his car. Close but no dice. Very, very good shot on goal. Better defense, good save, but, I mean, it getting a little bit scary right now.
Yeah, this is definitely just Maryland needs to start attacking, as most of this game so far has just been Penn State attacking, and so does Turtle. Attacks right there. Beautiful goal from Turtle right there. I mean, it seems like he jumped essentially backwards and gets a nice little double touch from the corner, coming in with so much speed, overpowers any defender in his way. That is 1-2, and right now, this is a close game to watch right there. Turtle just, again, persevering, not letting the game end from a 2-0 lead. And now, if you're Maryland, you want to score again, but you also have to play good defense, as you know what Penn State is capable of.
Yeah, and they are capable of getting one back very quickly, as you were saying. That is a good goal coming out from Penn State, as unfortunate as it is to say if you're a Maryland fan like we are in the studio. Very, very good redirect off of the wall, off of the backboard, and right now the lead is once again to 2 goals in the side of Penn State.
Yeah, that just hurts to watch, as I was just so excited from Turtle's shot, just thinking, oh, will that be it for this game? Will that switch it around? But Penn State quickly capitalized on our mistakes and score.
I mean, it's rough, especially with the time dwindling down as it is right now. The clock is definitely a factor right now. It is a bit of a 4v3 in the side of Penn State because Maryland is playing against the clock. It is a factor, and right now Penn State is not happy to go quietly. They want to keep this pressure on. They want to keep the goals coming, and the goals will continue to be piled on. It is now 4-1 in the side of Penn State, and this game is looking a little bit rough in these last 45 seconds.
Yeah, with 3 goals needed to equalize and go into OT, 15 seconds per goal seems very difficult so far, but nonetheless, this is a game of Rocket League where anything can happen, and I want anything to happen, as Maryland have a chance to potentially score right there. Just pass it wide. There's Turtle applying pressure. This need a bit of more of that, as this game seems like it's coming to a close in Penn State's favor. But yeah, speaking to what should happen in the next game, Maryland need to just apply more pressure. They can't afford all of this time going Penn State's way. All of this just matched effort, essentially, where Penn State just has all the time in the world to come up with anything, as there's a beautiful shot from Nitri. Great pass from Fahad right there, and even better finish from Nitri, as he just gets the simplest of touches to put it in.
I mean, you could see, if you're seeing the players for Maryland were having a laugh about that one. It seems like they know that this game is a little bit in the books. They were enjoying that goal. Maybe they were enjoying the goal steal, because it did look like a little bit of a steal. But, yeah, this game one definitely will not be going in the side of Maryland. Very, very tough to see, but you can definitely guarantee they will not be going quietly, as they will try to get game 2 back.
Yeah, Maryland really need to change the game plan right there because, as we see, their current game plan is eventually leading into a 5-1 game. I think the game is also a bit inflated as they score a 6th goal right there. That's 6-1, but it was also, in the beginning, much closer than it actually is. In the end, I mean, once you have so many, when you concede so many goals, it gets a bit demoralizing, and that messes with you, but you don't want that to overhang as you go into Game 2. Treat the new game as a fresh start, and hopefully we're able to see something different from Maryland.
It's rough stuff, but yeah, I definitely think you're right, especially as that momentum builds. It is kind of tough to get out of that game. It's tough to traverse. I like to say it's tough to traverse a game like that. It is slow, and it is a little bit of a grind when you're on the opposite side of it. It's tough, and then you have to deal with the rest of the game. Demoralizing for sure, and I mean, but you can't take results like that 6-1 very, very seriously because, again, they did kind of pile goals on at the end when I think Maryland were a little bit out of it. But, I mean, still, great performance coming out from Penn State. Definitely not a team to be reckoned with. But Game 2 will definitely see Maryland try to reckon with them to get it back to 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely nailed it on the point, nailed it on the head right there. Yes, it was like a 6-1. It seemed like it was a bit much, but again, let's see what Maryland, how they kind of react to that game, how they change things. I think what they have to change is apply more pressure, stay a bit more composed in defense, talk a bit more. It seems like their rotations were a bit out, but nonetheless, Penn State are just so tactically brilliant, so tactically so tactically, what's the word I'm trying to look for? They're just so advanced, tactically advanced, where anything they come up with is just difficult for Maryland to defend. But we also have a pro. Hexy's seen his fair shares of mechanics, and he's able to save anything. It's just a lack. It's not a lack. It's just a matter of teamwork and rotating, and that will be the key for this Maryland team as they try to win the next game.
I mean, that first game was definitely rough. There's no sugarcoating it. That was a pretty big loss for Maryland. But again, this is a new game that it sounds like we're getting into very, very soon. And, I mean, they just have to wipe it from their memory. In sports, they say, keep a short memory, do not remember, and try to just play the next game, play the next set, next series, next at-bat better. And that is what Maryland will be trying to do this game.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland really need to keep a positive mindset because if they keep a negative mindset, like, oh, darn it, that's just not going to help them. And it seems like so far everyone just seems so locked, just looking at their screens, not blinking an eye even. Let's hope that goes Maryland's way as it's just so far it seems like a pretty balanced start.
When Hexy gets locked in, he gets very, very, very close to the screen, very close to the camera, as we're seeing right now. He does not want to go quietly. He does not want to go softly into the night. They do not want to go down 2-0, and it looks like that is a great shot coming out from Hexy. We were speaking of the man a minute ago. Great shot, great save, though, coming out, but Maryland are not done in Penn State's half.
Yes, I mean, you guys don't understand, but both casters in the studio right here, we were just like, oh, darn it, that was a great save, but a great play, but an even better save. But that's what you want to see if you're Maryland. Maryland excel with their team plays, and we have not seen much, not just in this first game in the series, but just overall tonight.
That's the thing with some of these great teams is they're able to neutralize the team play coming out from any team that they go against, and that is what Penn State has been doing very, very well. They aren't really big on these individual plays. They've been playing very, very cohesively as a team, and they've been neutralizing, but that is a great shot on goal from the setup from Turtle, and it looks like Maryland has taken the lead early on in Game 2.
Yeah, you can see right there, Turtle bumps Killex. Killex was the last man back. He went wide for boost. Turtle's like, oh, I'm just going to demo you. And sometimes you don't even need to apply that much power on the shot. You just need to make an on-goal, shot on goal, accurate shot from Waiters. And right there, just so close to scoring right there. But again, just a bit wide.
We see so often on the kickoffs, Maryland gets a little bit burnt. And it looked like they were the ones that tried to do the torching there. Close, but no dice. Great attempt on goal from the kickoff. But again, you were saying that is what you like to see if you're Maryland, is this pressure, is keeping up the pace, keeping up the tempo. They do not, once again, want to go quietly. That's a great save from Hexy. They don't want to go quietly, man. They want to keep it up and play their own game, and right now they're doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Turtle's demoed right there. Now he's already respawned. 3 seconds go by quickly. But speaking of which, right there, just Fahad trying to do what he can, just trying to get enough power right there. There's Hexy. Will he get the flip reset? Yes, he will. Just not able to get the 50 or dunk it as he wanted to right there.
Rough stuff, and Penn State look like they're on the front foot right now. That is a great try in the air from the Penn State player. Better defense, and right now Hexy's in the air. He's looking a little dangerous. Gets met by Kiliex. Great defense. Unfortunate stuff, but Maryland still has the ball in the Penn State half. What a great shot, but Penn State has 2 people in goal back for it. It looked like they were a little bit scared of that one right there.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Penn State's kind of parking the bus right here, but ultimately that is just for a phase of time. As Penn State know that they are 1 down, they can't just keep all their players in the box right there. As Waiters just almost scores, just hits it on the crossbar. We all heard the crossbar, and that's just so close. But again, taking positives from that, Maryland's doing a great job applying pressure. And how many times this game have we seen the ball just go just wide?
I mean, you said it a moment ago in this booth right now. Both Aras and I have been just exclaiming. We are jumping up and down in our seats in the excitement. There have been some stellar attempts on goal, but sometimes they go a little wide. Sometimes there's a great save made. But this has been a very, very, very intense, action-packed, fun game of Rocket League to watch.
Yes, and right there, that was almost a goal for Penn State as Maryland did double commit, but luckily we were able to get the 50 right there. But right here, here's Hexy trying to wait for Kiliex's touch. He gets the flip, doesn't get the touch. There's Waiters trying to go for the pinch, misses the ball. There's Nitri, and will that go in? No, but I don't even know how he got a flip, but just the fact that he crossed it right in the middle, just into the danger zone.
Hexy with a good play to get it off the wall, get it out of the Maryland half, aided by Waiters, and that's a shot on goal. And again, a great save, great defense coming out from Penn State, but Maryland are on the front foot. That is a great attempt from Turtle, and it is a little bit too close. It's not close enough onto the goal, but they are coming out very, very hot in this last minute. Once again, they want to keep the pressure up and make this a comfortable win rather than a close one.
Yeah, for you viewers, again, just back watching behind your screens, me and Nathan both jumped right out of our seat. We're on our edge. We're sitting up. This is such a close game. Maryland's doing a good job so far. Clearly the better side as they've nearly scored so many goals. But again, let's hope Maryland can continue on with this lead. 16 seconds left. Turtle does a good job to stop Kiliex from potentially starting something. And right now, Maryland really needs to hold on to the ball right here. 10 seconds left, 8 seconds left, 7 seconds left. Waiters hits into the side. Is the goal open? No, Turtle just wide, but he gets the touch. Beautiful stuff. They realize that Keiser's Penn State is overcommitted, and Turtle almost missed it right there, but perseveres and scores it right there. Great stuff from Maryland overall in this game.
That's the thing with having that much space. There was a breakaway right there for Turtle. He had so much space, so much time, that even though his initial shot was off, it didn't matter much because he could follow up his own shot, and that will be a Game 2 win going to Maryland. No matter which way you spin it, that is a much better performance than Game 1, and that is definitely something to look at when you're looking at film later of what to do right. They did everything right that game.
That was, I mean, yes, it was just a 2-0, less than the score sheet. Then, like, the gap score difference was less than Game 1, but I think that was honestly even more dominating performance than the first game. Maryland gave Penn State very little opportunities. Maryland themselves had so many opportunities. Clinical finishing altogether, not necessarily. We've seen Maryland with better finishing before, but that's what you want to do, create that many opportunities, keep your foot on the accelerator that entire game. And speaking of keeping the foot on the accelerator, now that they're sped up so well, they want to accelerate a bit, but ultimately keep their performance on cruise control as you go into Game 3.
Wayne Gretzky famously said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and it looks like Maryland were taking that advice to heart as they put a lot of shots on goal. But again, as you were saying, keeping up that pressure, putting that many shot attempts on goal, that's the thing. I mean, they were able to score those 2 goals pretty easily, pretty handily, because they put so many on goal. Penn State had to keep on saving and saving and saving, and honestly, they didn't really have too much of an opportunity to play too much offense that game, and that was what Maryland's success was built off of.
Oh, and just right there, goes a bit wide, and Waiters gets a good 50 right there. There's Turtle trying to lob it up into the air, waiting for his own teammates to do something. There's Nitri, 50 goes our way, but there's KillieX. What will he do from this angle? Will he score? No, doesn't get the shot off. Now there's Fahad. He's probably going to cross into the center. Yes, he does. There's KillieX, met by Waiters. 50 goes KillieX's way. Just pressure from Penn State so far.
Yeah, it's been looking great for Penn State if you are a fan of Penn State in the stream. But, I mean, Maryland are obviously the local team. We want to see them kind of pick it back up and pick it back up. They're looking to do right here, but that is a great 50 coming out from Penn State. It's rough stuff. And, I mean, right now, Maryland are they're scrambling a little bit, trying to get back into that mode of last game, of that constant pressure. But right now, it looks like Penn State has been adapting pretty well.
Yeah, Penn State has done a good job adapting from the last game. And there's Hexy. Will he create something with the 3 boost he has? No, he's ultimately met by Fahad in the air. And now KillieX, open goal, gets the shot off. Great placement, great finish. And that is 1-0 Penn State.
Hexy was just in such an uncomfortable, unfortunate spot to try to save this when he goes up. But it looks like KillieX just puts it right around him. That's a great shot. It's great attempt at defense. But as I was saying earlier, better offense will always beat the defense no matter what. And right there we saw a prime example of it.
And right there, we almost saw another prime example of better offense as Waiter just gets the shot off. So close as he perseveres, stays on the ball right there. There's Nitri waiting, delayed touch right there. Turtle hits it up into the air, doesn't hit into Nitri. There's Fahad, but now it seems like, just nearly. Maryland were able to maybe break away and start something, but ultimately Fahad was able to stop that.
But yeah, for sure, they want to turn the afterburner on. They want to turn that nitro on right now. Turtle with no boost trying to make something happen. That is a great shot attempt coming out. And that is good follow-up coming from Waiters. What a goal off of the back of Hexy and Turtle. Sustained efforts in the Penn State half. Great goal to even it up. And, I mean, that is what you love to see on the side of the Terps.
Yeah, Maryland, again, tapping into their ultimate elite team chemistry. Everyone was involved in there. Hexy crossed in the middle. Turtle started off the attack, and he also ended off the attack, not with a goal, but with a bump that ultimately let the Waiters place it right where he wanted to. Yeah,
and right now, Penn State do not want to take that goal lightly. They want to keep it pushing, keep it moving, as they say, but Maryland themselves do not want to let that one go lightly. They want to keep the pressure on. We're seeing a conflict of interest right here, as we always see in these games, and, I mean, this has been turning out to be a pretty exciting one thus far.
Yeah, and honestly, not just this game, but this entire series has been so fun to watch. Absolutely nail-biting. I've already bit through all my nails this series. I don't have any nails to bite right now, but right now, let's see what can happen as Turtle plays it up into the air, wants Waiter to go for it. Waiters doesn't have enough boost. Turtle fakes it, makes it seem like he's going to go for it, and there's Waiters right when Turtle runs out of boost, preserves his boost, and beautiful bar down shot.
Look at the shot. Look at the play. Look at the team play above everything. That was stellar stuff to increase the lead. They have a lead now once again. And, I mean, look at the way these guys play with each other again. It's like they know exactly what each other are going to do, where they're going to be before the other one even knows. And, again, that is what you get when you play with these people for so long. They're like brothers in there.
They are truly brothers, as they do have a BEC LAN tournament coming over spring break, but that is also in the city, in the town Myrtle Beach. So again, a lot of brotherly activities I'm sure will happen in Myrtle Beach as they try to win that tournament.
For sure. I'm very excited to be watching that, to be keeping up, because, again, we know Terps are very, very driven. They're determined, but most of all, they're talented above everything else. And right now, they're putting those talents to use as they have this 1-goal lead on a very, very impressive Penn State team. They want to keep it up, and keep it up they will do.
And I also do want to change, clarify something I said. I did misspeak and say BEC LAN. It's not a BEC LAN tournament, as that was over the weekend, but it is, again, a tournament and a LAN tournament in person.
Yeah, for sure. We were speaking to the players earlier, Aras, and you could tell that they're very excited. They're very ready for that one over the spring break. They get to hang around with the guys. They get to play some Rocket League, maybe win a trophy, win some awards. But, I mean, for right now, we're still in this series, and once again, they are still winning, but they want to get this extra goal to once again make it comfortable, make it not so much of a scramble in this last minute.
Yeah, ultimately they do want to score another goal, but even more ultimately than that is they don't want to concede a goal, as that will lead to overtime. And Maryland, they have their moments. They have a love-hate relationship in overtime where they win some and they lose some, but I feel like they just want to end the game right here and relieve the stress as they want to go right straight into Game 4.
That looked like a redirect attempt coming out from Kiliak was not on the money, though, but a great try to redirect it from the corner into the middle, maybe trying to set up one of his teammates up there. But that is a pretty much wide open goal from Turtle on the back of Waiters' effort. It looked like a bit of an air bump coming out from Waiters, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, great pass, air bump, and Turtle gets the wide open net to increase the lead to 2. What a stellar play to increase the lead and make it a lot more comfortable in these last 25 seconds.
Yeah, redirect this, redirect that. Turtle shows who's ultimately great at redirects it, lobs it up into Waiters. Waiters hits it up into the corner, and he's there right there, as now it is a 3-1, exactly the goal you want to go step into your comfort zone. Don't want to drop your guard down, but ultimately it seemed like this will go Maryland's way if they're unable to score right there. Just so close, as that almost could have been an own goal right there. But now with 1 second left, the ball touches the ground. That's a Maryland win. That is now 2-1 in the series. Potentially the last game for Maryland right now as we go into Game 4. But great stuff. Great stuff right there.
I mean, they made, if you want to boil these wins down to one thing, it is that they made the adjustments from Game 1. That was a bit of a rout in that game. That was a very, very dominant win from Penn State, but Maryland has just been looking like overall the completely better team in these last 2.
Yeah, honestly, this is great stuff to watch from Maryland. Even with the loss in the last series just in the back of their head, they've definitely just kind of plunged that essentially thought out of their brains, and now it seems like this Maryland team is playing on a different level than they have been all night in the last 2 games, and let's hope, here's more hoping to that.
Yeah, we got back into this next game very, very quickly. It looks like the guys don't want to talk much. They just want to play. They want to act. They want to win this series, and win is what they hopefully will do on this game. We'd like to see that, but of course a lot of series left potentially, and right now Penn State, you can definitely tell they'll be doing their absolute best to make sure they do not go down that easy.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like Maryland, what they need to do is just what they've been doing the last 2 games. As we see right there, Turtle scores. Great pass from Waiters. Maryland is just absolutely dominating right now.
Penn State are in disarray. You saw Ofahad, I believe his name is, it looked like he tried to go up the wall to get that ball and clear it a little bit, but he was too late. And that is not a mistake that you see very often. He was too late, and it was a pretty easy shot on goal. And that is another shot coming from Hexie on the assist from Waiters. What a way to begin Game 4. It is already 2-0, and not even 40 seconds have passed.
I'm smiling. The players are smiling. I don't know if you guys have ever played God of War, but there is this one ability that there is called Spartan Rage, where it kind of excels, like all of your skill limits and whatnot. They're just kind of like you can do anything you can, and it looks like Spartan Rage has been sustained for a while, as now Maryland's just trying this interesting stuff. Will that go in? Yes, it will. That's 3-0. 47 seconds already elapsed into the game. What an absolute dominant showing right here. Let's hope Maryland can keep that up, but wow.
Yeah, Spartan Rage activated indeed. They are looking immaculate in this Game 4 scenario. I mean, it is already 3-0. Not even 50 seconds have passed, as I said just a moment ago with the 40 seconds. But yeah, they've been coming out swinging. They do not want this to go to a Game 5, and right now it's looking like it won't.
Yes, and to put things in perspective, I would say Penn State is a better team than Keiser State, and we saw how that Keiser State and the Keiser game versus Maryland won that series, and it looks like now, to put that in perspective, Penn State being the better team, Maryland is just touching and reaching these new peaks never seen before.
Yeah, I would take this Maryland team over a lot of the teams that I've seen before, and I mean, they've just been playing so good. They've been playing so together. Every single one of their goals this game has been a team goal. They've set each other up well. They've put it home well. And, I mean, this has been a stellar performance thus far.
Yeah, you can see, I think the biggest thing, and this is not just Rocket League, but a lot of things, not even sports in general, is just confidence. The confidence of our all players. They're all comfortable in what they're doing. They're so confident as Turtle just scores right there. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. 4-0 4-0. Confidence sky high for Maryland. This is even more of a dominant game so far than the game one, where Penn State seemed like the dominant one. Yes, that was 6-1. Yes, it's 4-0. But right now, with scoring 4-0 in less than 2 minutes, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm just astonished. My jaw is dropping as Penn State's able to score right there. Kiliex gets a shot. Maybe Maryland's saying here, just take a goal. We're feeling a bit charitable.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like maybe they took, I mean, that is an unfortunate 50 as we see in the replay. Turtle was just a little bit too fast. He was going a little bit too fast. A bit too big for his britches, rather. But, I mean, yeah, it looked like Maryland took that game one a little bit personally, as Michael Jordan said in his documentary. They took it personal, and this game has been the biggest redemption that they could have gotten. As long as they can keep it up and not let that one goal Penn State score, I mean, they don't want to let that grow into several. And, I mean, if they can do that, just make sure that this lead stays as it is. This will be a clean, wrapped-up series. And that is a great shot. What a mid-air performance from Turtle and Hexy to put that one away. And once again, the lead has grown to 4 in this game 4.
Yeah, you guys don't understand how happy us casters are watching right now. It's like we're both 5-year-olds just being given candy. I just can't stop smiling watching this. 5-1, more than half of the game left. What will happen? I don't know. Maryland don't even need to score goals, but it's just coming to them effortlessly. This is just beautiful stuff to watch, and I honestly hope this is the Maryland force and dominance we bring when we are at our A game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw they played great at their LAN at BEC for the BEC tournament, and I mean, they played great, and once again they got second. We are very immaculately proud of them. They will be back at an in-person LAN in the next week, and if this team goes to that LAN, I'll be taking us over anyone, Aras.
Genuinely, I mean, there's no better way to say that, as we might score another goal right there. Yes, we will. 6-1. The goals won't stop. Hexy, beautiful. I mean, I don't even know what to say right there. Fahad just... Did he forfeit?
It looked like he was just in an unfortunate spot. Maybe he was low on boost, unable to get to it. But, I mean, yeah, we're seeing this is a rout, even more so than Game 1. In Game 1, it ended up 6-1 at the end, and that is a forfeit. Or is they completely left maybe a little bit salty, maybe a little bitter in this last game, and that is a stellar way to end this series. 3-1. What a game. What a set of games coming out from Maryland after Game 1 didn't go our way.
I'm so happy. I really need to take a deep breath right there. I just can't stop smiling. That is beautiful stuff to watch. Spectacular, clinical stuff from Maryland right there. That's what you want to see. That is definitely how you want to end the night. Yes, the first series did not go our way in the Play versus League, where we did lose 2-3. Again in Game 5, very close series, by the way. But right there to win 3-1, the final game being Game 4, 6-1. Again, 6-1 was the game in Game 1 scoreline, and that was Penn State, and that was through an entire game. We had another 2 minutes. Who knows how many goals Maryland would have piled up if Penn State had not forfeited early.
Of course, I mean, stellar performance. What else is there to say other than that was spectacular, that was stellar, that was immaculate? There aren't enough positive adjectives, as I can't find any more. They played so great in that series, so great in that Game 4 as well, and that is the type of stuff that we like to see around here. We like to see a quick work made of Penn State, and I mean, what do you do? I mean, honestly, Maryland and Penn State are a little bit of rivals in the sports in general, and I mean, to win a Rocket League series like that very handily over Penn State, we'll definitely take that.
Yeah, we will definitely take that. I think going forward with the LAN tournament coming up, that's going to be huge, a huge statement win in that game, in that entire series. That is the momentum you want to carry on, as now Maryland advanced to 7-1. I believe there is a team that is 8-0, and I'm not sure if we have played them yet, but here's hoping we can beat them, as CCS is coming into its final games. As for Play versus League, we have one more game next week. We are coming to, honestly, the home, what's it called?
Home stretch,
home stretch of this season.
I mean, I've been excited. I've had a lot of fun commentating Rocket League with Nolan and with you, as it has been some stellar stuff, and it's been entertaining. I've had a lot of fun, a lot of good times, good memories, good mojo flowing in the booth when we watch Rocket League, and right there was no different. That was some stellar stuff coming out from the guys in the studio.
Yeah, stellar stuff. And I mean, honestly, I would just sit here and watch Rocket League for more hours, but we do have to wrap up the stream. But before we go, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Philip Merrill of College Journalism, where our studio's currently right now where it is. Yes, we will be moving to esports, but I do want to thank you guys for so much for using your studio. This would not be possible without you. And speaking of another sponsor who this would not be possible without, with Recwell, UMD Recwell. Esports is a part of UMD Recwell. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. And finally, I want to thank Playwire. Thank you so much. Without all three of you sponsors, we would not have had this awesome night, and honestly, maybe even this awesome day we had with the beautiful weather leading into a beautiful Rocket League match we just watched. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, sponsors, and hopefully you guys tune in for next week for more Rocket League action. But in the meantime, we will have more esports this week.
Yeah, I mean, some Overwatch coming tomorrow and some Valorant coming on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Very excited to be tapped in for that. But I think that's it for us. I have been Nathan.
And I have been Ars, and thank you very much for joining us today. Hope to see you guys soon, and have a great night.
Peace out.
Wow. That was so